Let's go.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. Welcome back. She is a friend to the show and the owner of Yoga Evolution Television. Ladies and gentlemen, Yogi Jazz. Jazz Porter is back.
Hey.
And you brought your cohort with you.
Yes, my business
time.
partner, my sister, Alicia, is here.
Alicia, also known as Afro Yoga. And as you see, all of the glory in her crown.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Access Houston.
Defying gravity.
Defying gravity. You know, I had started growing my hair because David Banner, when he was growing his, he had spoke at PV, and he told the story of why, our hair grows, the way that it does up toward the sun. And it was just very fascinating. I'm not going to get into that, but I was like, And that's what really kind of started me to grow my hair, which I don't have anymore.
You look great.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies, for coming on. So, New Year.
Yes.
New Year.
Everybody's talking about it. It's funny, this year I haven't heard the whole New Year, New You mantra. Personally, I haven't heard it. So I guess, people
I think
have
it's
kinda,
played.
Yeah.
And it's like a new decade. So it's like, I think the last maybe 5 years, there's been a huge transformation and shift consciously of people realizing themselves, becoming aware of themselves. And it's the same you, even the childhood you, that you're still moving forward with. So we're just looking at how we want to show up and what we want to see happen differently without new me. You know what I mean? So I, at almost 30 now, I'm like, I want to take everything with me because I got all of these lessons and I can move from a different position now with all of the old me stuff, with me.
Oh, almost 30.
I know. Like
I'm
that's,
feeling good about it.
Wait, what? Y'all say that as if.
Hey, I'm 20 fine.
I'm leaning into 30. Mine is coming up May 1st, and I'm like, let's go.
Well, I will say this as a man who has been there. It's not what you think.
Right.
Like when you get there, you're like, oh, this is 30. Like this is cool. I always tell people that's turning 30, I always use a Jay-Z line, Ho's line in 30-something. Young enough to know the right car to buy, yet grown enough not to put rims on it.
Correct. It's so much beauty in age and experience.
Super duper facts. Because I feel like your 20s, that's your decade to really mess up. Figure out who you are, even though daily, we learn more about ourselves as life goes on. But yeah, in your 20s, you can mess up, get to know yourself. Like I believe that people shouldn't get married until after 30.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you got to find out who you are.
I feel like I agree with you.
In general.
I'm not exactly tied to the number,
Yeah.
I feel like it's really the amount of work you put in because there are people out there who are 50-something who still
have not
haven't
done the work.
Yeah, and they're still living and recreating those same patterns for themselves. So I really feel like it's the individual person. So some of us get it by 30, some of us don't.
30 is a state of mind, not a number.
Yeah.
I had
Right.
the honor of interviewing Mario, and I was like, man, you've been doing this, for whatever the number was. And he was like, man, now that you say that, I really don't think about it like that. I like to say that I'm an energy, not an age. I was like, Mario, I'm taking that.
Yes. That's something old people say. We start trying to make excuses as we get older. I'm not as old as I look, or I
I'm
feel
not an
young.
age, I'm an energy.
Yes.
I still get carded, okay?
And speaking of energy, with it being a new year, people do really use this time of the year to get their lives together. Declutter, try to do. Choose more healthier options and things. And I was having a conversation a couple of weeks ago about yoga. So one of our coworkers was like, "No, I've never done it. Like, I hadn't thought about it." And we was like, "Yo, it is amazing." Now, I've only done it once with the great Yogi Jazz. But that experience still sticks with me, and I'm mad that I haven't been able to come back because it was such a spiritual experience, especially during the sound, like the singing bowl session with us laying back, and you had us laying back and you were telling us what to do and breathe or whatever, and how we could feel, or you said that we could possibly feel our spirit uplift out of our physical body during that time. And even though that was my first time, for a split second, I felt what Jazz was teaching and was saying, and I got so excited, and I was like, "Oh, I want to, right?" And I want to come back, and I want to get it done, and I swear, I felt so much lighter after that session. Jazz, I've told you this. I felt so much lighter. I slept like a baby, and yoga is really the dopest thing.
It is so incredible.
So for those that may not even, know what is yoga and how does it help mind, body, and spirit?
Yoga is your best friend. It's a tool. It's like a complement to your experience. And it's something that you can partner with to get to know yourself, to connect with whatever source or higher, whatever is for you, to connect with like minds, build a community, to heal yourself, to help others. It's like a tool. And it's been so crazy too. Like since we first met, yoga teaches me just as much as I teach it. Y'all know I am a cry baby.
Yeah. No, let's
heard
get
it
on
put
it.
like
Let's
that
get on
before.
it. No, because this is important. People are going through some things,
Woo.
and they need some sort of release or something that is relatable, just something to ease the heavy burden that is on their shoulders, be it whatever it is, be it if it's family, if it's work, if it's a romantic relationship. People really need things like yoga. So go ahead.
It makes me feel emotional because we're all having such a similar experience, but there's so much we carry with us that we don't have to unnecessarily. When you think about the little kid in all of us that just wants to be vulnerable, just wants to express, just wants to be free and express, but then all of these like adult society things weighing down on you, and we all experience it on some level. So to have a place where you can come for an hour and tap into that place, we operate ignoring it like it's normal. That you don't even notice like what needs to be fed in you. Like, how do you really want to be experiencing this life? We lose it. So giving people the opportunity to as I've built my practice as far as a teacher, me experiencing the impact that it has on people and being able to really zone in on what I'm curating to create the environment for optimal health and for an open space for people to feel comfortable crying if they need to. So, and yoga doesn't always have to be that. Like if you need yoga to be trap yoga, if it needs to be fun, if it needs to be to get your mind off something, it can be whatever you want it to be. But I personally really enjoy doing the deep work with people.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like, I feel like because yoga is such a vast thing, it can seem kind of intimidating to people. Yoga, if you look at it and you create a diagram, it could be like a full circle. So there's the physical aspect, that's yoga asana. That's where you're moving your body. That's where you're stretching your limbs. That's where you're doing that. There's the pranayama. That's the breath. That's where you're taking breath consciously, aware of the way that your breath flows in and out of you, like
and
energy.
That's when I was experiencing that
elevation.
That elevation. Yeah.
Right. So breath is life. I mean, even as we come into this world, we are pronounced alive once they hear us crying, once they hear that breath being taken into your body. And then on the flip side, when you no longer have breath, I mean, if you don't breathe for 4 minutes, then you're brain dead. I mean, and then, even more than that, then you're making other plans.
Right.
So that's a major aspect of it. And then you have several other aspects of awareness. And all these 8 limbs make up the full circle that is yoga. And that word, when it's translated from the original yogic language, is translated as unity. So just like Jazz was saying about really connecting to yourself, whether it be your inner child, your present moment, creating the unity between all of that really allows you to be aware.
And in the moment.
That's when you're practicing yoga. So you don't have to do the up and down. Some people have injuries. You don't have to do the physical aspects of yoga to be practicing. You could just be aware of a breath that you're doing. And in that moment, you're practicing yoga.
So something that I want to say to the people listening, yoga can seem intimidating in a lot of levels. People can, I'm not flexible, or I'm not looking for a spiritual deep connection, or this is too woo woo, whatever.
Or I'm not skinny enough.
I'm not skinny
whatever.
enough. Whatever the thing is, it's like there's so many entry points, and you have to look at yoga as a journey. You can come in. I came into yoga doing acro, totally just to play and do something physical.
And acro is like acrobatic style.
Yes. Okay. So I'm doing that. That was my entry point, but I allowed yoga to be a tool for me to take a journey, and I ended up becoming a teacher, which that's not everybody's journey, but just reminding people that you can start somewhere, find what your relationship with yoga can be, and stay open to where it can lead you.
Now, were you going in with the intentions of being a teacher, or that just came about?
I literally was like, dang, this looks cool on Instagram. People flipping upside down on people's feet. I want to do something. I've always been in dance, in some sort of sport or something physical. And as I got grown, I was like, I missed that version of myself. So I just went because it looked challenging and fun, period. And then it started to change my life because I was open to it. Yeah. It taught me how to trust my partner, to trust people, which I had issues with. Right. So I'm like, okay, this is teaching me a real life lesson.
Yeah. Which we talked about that. I don't know, maybe the second time that you were on, we talked about that. So you can go on the Box's YouTube
and see that one.
That conversation. You're listening to Access Houston, talking to Jazz and Alicia of Yoga Evolution Television. They have an entrepreneur workshop that is coming up on the 26th. That is next Sunday. And what was the catalyst for this? How did you all come up with this concept?
Okay, so let's just set the stage here.
Yeah,
okay. So
let's say what it is.
In our culture right now, it's really popular for parents to tell their children to become doctors and lawyers and all of the things that are quote unquote prestigious, that bring in a lot of money traditionally in our society. Right. And so, when I became a yoga teacher, I graduated from Rice, and my parents were like, oh, so you have hundreds of thousands of dollars in your education, and you go become a yoga teacher. So like that whole energy towards it is like, this is somehow not valuable or not valued. When in reality, doctors these days are recommending their patients to practice yoga. There's more and more instances in the medical community where yoga is seen as something being valid, and even the yoga industry as being a $1 billion industry. So what we saw was that yoga teachers coming out of teacher training were going into the studios wherever they had their training and were getting paid. If they got paid, sometimes they would be on an internship for however many classes.
I love the air quotes, right?
Yes, and then they basically choose how much you make, and what?
No, you can be real. Tell it.
And I ain't down with that shit.
We speak truth to power in here.
Okay, so our whole me and Alicia take our personal growth and our journey and our self-worth and our power into our own hands as an active practice. And moving into any career, the people owning that career or that position, they let you know what that position is worth to them, which is also telling you what your time is worth. I decide, you decide as an entrepreneur what your service and your time is worth. And as you are elevating in your practice, you're pouring into yourself, you're doing these certifications, these teacher trainings, you're continuing your education, your worth increases. And with yoga, it's really challenging because studios, it's really a challenge to run a studio and to make that profitable, because a lot of people still associate free with yoga. Right. People are looking for free yoga. We don't even believe in that word. If we are offering something to the community, it is no registration required. I'm not telling you that what I'm doing has no value and it's free. So the way that you're even communicating and thinking is different. And entrepreneurship is not taught in teacher training. You're learning how to teach it, the anatomy and the history of it, but how to frame a business, show up as a brand, create contracts and agreements and partnerships, and run a smooth, well-oiled machine that you can start charging from $25 to $250 a class is something that we feel like healers should know. Like, if
Or
you
even more than
dedicated
that.
more than that,
Yeah.
if you're dedicated to healing the world, you should be taken care of financially. You should be happy and healthy, period. And yoga is not something that I suggest you teach 30 or 40 hours a week. So if you're getting paid $25 an hour at a studio, you're breaking your neck to teach classes. You're pouring out so much energy. You're
Yeah.
depleted.
Yeah.
Morning and evening, driving back and forth. Like, it's just,
Yes. So we created, oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, so how do you replenish it? I mean, just me hearing you all say that in and out and putting it in, putting it in perspective. How do you recharge?
You do
I mean,
not teach 30 classes a week, first of all. If you increase what you're worth, you can work less hours. If I'm only getting $25 an hour, I have to teach 30 classes.
Right.
If I'm getting 100, 200, 300, I can maybe teach 7 that week.
Yeah.
So that makes a difference. So we decided to put our heads together, and Houston is just such a great place to do this. And we believe in abundance and sharing information. So everything that we've learned, we're putting in a 4-hour seminar teaching you how to completely tomorrow, the next day, start creating your business and moving forward. We're giving you resources. We're giving you some wild gifts. Lululemon is sponsoring. Athleta is sponsoring. We're actually hosting it at the Athleta store. So we're giving
All I
you
keep
an
thinking is,
Athleta.
free yoga pants or a shirt or
Exactly.
or a mat or something.
we do have free things that you will receive
And
from our
great food.
sponsors. Yes.
It's just going to
It's gonna
be
be
an experience.
Dang, where's my-
Informational.
oh man! Oh, we on live. I was about to say, man, where's my phone? Am I available on the 26th?
I really wish that you could come.
Oh my gosh, we really recommend it, not just for yoga teachers, but
Right.
for the type of information that we're going to be sharing is really for entrepreneurs. And we see the most need in the yoga community because of what we mentioned before. And we invite healers or anyone interested in really upping their game, because we're going to be not only sharing gems, but we will be sharing documents. We will be giving you actually contract templates.
Yes.
We were going to go through individual contracts and identify these are the things that you want to have in a contract as a business owner. Or like compare these, which one is incorrect. Like, you find out so that even when you leave that place and let's say 3 years from now, you're doing and revamping your contract, you remember, okay, these are the things I need to have in this new contract.
Yes.
So from soup to nuts, you are showing entrepreneurs.
That's a new saying, but yes.
Yeah, well, it just means from beginning to end. Y'all never heard of that
No.
term?
But it's okay.
That was
I have
over
my
the
context
Astro.
clues. I was with you. I have the context clues.
Yeah, just from beginning to end, you
Yeah.
all are legit showing them how to become an entrepreneur and successfully and the right way legally for yoga.
Right. We'll talk about taxes.
Yes.
Because
Branding,
independent
websites.
contractors, I mean, you want to know what you don't know, because we
Yeah.
learn the lessons for you.
Yes, we have
I mean,
bumped our
if I'm
heads.
being honest, ladies, this sounds like something just for entrepreneurs. I mean, like,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
like, just the fact that you all are mentioning that you have the documents, you're gonna, show them what is what. I've never heard anybody do all of that.
You can actually, so the documents that we have, if you are an entrepreneur listening and you're not in the healing industry, but you feel like you need to understand these concepts of how to have a well-oiled machine, all you have to do is take that document, take out the word yoga, put in real estate, put
Yeah.
in whatever it is.
Right.
So we invite that you come. If you're not into yoga, you can always gift the gifts that we're giving you. And we love to love on people and introduce them to self-care. So some of the little prizes that we'll be giving are really great for you to take care of yourself. So
There's
to add a
pretty
cherry on
valuable
top,
prizes that we're giving out.
yes, we have Koya Webb, who is a celebrity yoga entrepreneur. She actually was my mentor and coach, who trained me, and she is the personal yoga instructor for a lot of well-known people. She's done international retreats and put
Celebrities.
so
Celebrities on
many.
She's the yoga OG.
She is.
Wow.
So
I
she's.
got a friend like that I went to high school with. Her name is Chelsea Jackson.
I think he told me about her.
Yeah. She's
So we're
We're gonna
giving
meet her
people an
one day.
opportunity to ask her the questions that they have about entrepreneurship on a very high level. She's going to do a book signing with her new book, and she's also going to take you through a yoga flow. So it's going to be bomb.
So where do people need to go to register to sign up for the Yoga Evolution TV Entrepreneur Workshop on the 26th? That is next Sunday.
Yes,
by the
so
way.
you can visit either one of our Instagram pages. So there is, mine is Yogi Jazz Porter. Hers is Afro Yoga on Instagram. The link is in both of our bios. You can send us an email at yogaevolutiontv@gmail.com. You can visit our website, Yoga Evolution TV. And yeah, and if you have questions, just
it's on-
connect with
it's on-
us.
It's
on
Eventbrite?
Eventbrite. You can
Yeah.
also find
it's on Eventbrite,
Entrepreneur Workshop on
Oh,
Eventbrite.
look at us. We don't talk. I'm talking about
I
age
know.
and 30 like the
I know.
time has flown by. But before, we got a few minutes left. Something very exciting and new that I've never even heard of. I think it's going to be dope. the Yoga Evolution TV event that's happening on February the 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. This conscious dating.
Yes.
Yes, so just to be clear with
Explain.
everybody, we have two events. So you can either come to the workshop on the 26th or do both. So the second event that he's talking about is our main event, Yoga Evolution TV. If you haven't heard about it, it's a conscious local market, so you'll have holistic vendors there. We do a live conscious talk show. It's Oprah style. It's a really
amazing. I've
dope
been.
vibe.
It's great.
And then we end with yoga. Yoga is optional, of course. So the one we have February 15th is going to be Valentine's weekend. We're focusing on conscious dating. So it's a conscious date night. So if you are in a partnership of any kind, Alicia will be leading the partners as far as how to connect with your partner on a very intimate level and just introduce new things to your relationship. If you are single, I will be hosting a conscious speed dating.
Okay.
So you will be interacting with other single people who are conscious, who are looking for more connection and more depth through these really unique questions that we've created. So you can also check that out on our website, yogaevolutiontv.com. And that's February 15th.
Just coming through and just, taking Houston by storm.
We're trying.
Honestly, our goal is to make consciousness and yoga popular.
Cool.
So to make it something that people are looking to do. Because at this point, people are like, oh, I've been thinking about yoga. But they're like, I got to do yoga. I see all these people doing yoga. Yoga looks so cool. Where can I do it? I need to do it, even if it's at home. I need to pull up YouTube and do yoga.
It is cool, and it does look cool. But most importantly,
It's good for you.
it is good for you.
For you.
The way that you are going to feel during and after. I can't even put it into words.
Yes.
I cannot. Like, I
Yes.
literally felt like I was floating out of that building. I was so light. And then I came in here and I had to do the Quiet Storm on our sister station, Magic 102, and I had an amazing show.
You're like
And then I
zenned
went
out.
and I slept like a baby.
A baby. It really improves your life. We both teach privately, so if anyone listening is interested in connecting with us, we can take care of that and talk about your personal goals. We want everybody to be more than great in 2020, the next 10 years, our new decade.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So save the date
Mm-hmm.
for February 15th for the event that they're having with the conscious dating, and that's going to be at.
The location is pending, so we'll have that information up.
So just
soon.
stay.
The
go ahead
tickets
and
are available,
Touch
but
that
to
follow
be
on
announced.
Instagram,
Right.
and they'll keep you up. But next Sunday,
And you're invited too.
Oh, for that one? Oh,
Always.
yeah. I'm in town, so I'll definitely.
We
I'm gonna
we
pull
put it
up.
on that weekend on purpose because we want people to come and to be ready to connect with others.
Yeah.
So if you're single, if you're in a relationship, whatever it is, come and get that deeper level of connection.
Yes.
And that's February 15th. But next Sunday,
The workshop.
Yoga Entrepreneur Workshop. And you can get all of that information at yogaevolutiontv.com and follow these ladies. Oh, man. I'm just have to block out a whole hour.
We do this every time.
Every time. Every time. It never fails. Like, In my mind, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to talk to Jazz for 12 minutes.
You know what it is? It's
always
just
24
that
minutes.
we need to have a radio station, like channel video station.
We're manifesting
thing.
that.
Yeah.
Let's get a show.
Yeah. Where we lead short meditations
Yeah.
to change your life.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Listen, thank
We
you
just
all
plug
for coming
in. We-
on.
Thank you,
Yogi
KG.
Thank you,
Jazz.
KG.
Alicia, better known as Afro Yoga on Instagram. Log on to the website for all of the information on both events, yogaevolutiontv.com. Just thank you for that, for all of this great energy that is being beamed into my chest.
We love
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where is that from? One of the cartoons?
Mortal Kombat, I think.
Well, that's the
comes
thing.
out
Like
that.
energy is something that's
Transferable.
shown up in so many
It's
ways
real,
in our lives.
It's real. I tell people all the time, at least, from throughout my life, just through experiences, trust the vibes that you get because
Correct.
energy doesn't lie.
Energy doesn't lie.
Energy doesn't lie.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So
We
all right.
love y'all, Houston.
Yes.
Hey, listen, and I love y'all.
H-Town.
So thank y'all for coming on.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening to Access Houston.